There you have it. You get to choose your attitude in advance. It is your choice every single day. Second of the 7 traits of being successful is called visualize success. Right, you gotta visualize success in order to be successful. But listen carefully, it is hard work. I'll start with the easy first, all right? How many of you have ever wanted to lose weight? Most of us do. Well, they say, I never figured out who they were, but they say that if you put a picture of you as you are now, a little heavy, on the refrigerator, it will help you stop. And in the pantry maybe, put a picture of the way you are now to remind you that you want to lose weight. It's called visualizing success. It worked for me. It may not work for you, but it did work for me, and I'm very, very happy with it. You know, I was in the Barnes & Noble store, I keep forgetting the name of it, a while back when we could go to malls and everything. I was in the Barnes & Noble store and I was buying some presents, and bottom line, I saw a book that was pretty popular many years ago. It's called The Secret by Rhonda Burns, and I thought, wow, I haven't seen that. So I picked up the book and opened it to a page, and right there in the page that I turned to, it said in a paragraph heading, think it and it will happen. Wow, I mean, that just took all the stress out of me. Think it and it will happen. Well, that's great. So I held the book and I thought, I closed my eyes and I said, I want to be a dentist. I want to be a dentist. I want to be a dentist. And I opened my eyes and I was still in Barnes & Noble. I was not a dentist. What do I need to do if I want to be a dentist? Well, I got to go to high school, college, after college, dental school. Then I got to find somebody who will intern me, and then I got to find a dental job or be my own dentist. I got 5 or 6 things I got to do. You cannot just think you want to be a dentist. It's hard work. So those of you who are writing down visualize success, I want you to put equals hard work. It is hard work to visualize success. It does not come easy. I do very well with the press and the PR, and one of the shows I wanted to be on, I want to be on the couch on Fox News. I've been on Fox News several times, but I wanted to be on the couch talking with the people. So bottom line, you just don't think I want to be on Fox News and call up and say, hi, I'm Nancy Friedman, the telephone doctor. What time can I come on? That's not how it works. In order to get some good press, you got to think of a good topic. You got to have an angle, a hook they call it. Then you got to write a press release or have it done for you, which costs a little money. Then you got to find the proper producer, because there are about 22 different producers for an hour show on Fox News, news show. And then you got to have the right angle and the right pitch and the right tone, and it's hard work. I haven't done it yet, but I'm still working on it. Hard work equals success, visualizing success. There's more stories and more stories about visualizing success. In sales, my husband has always taught people, when you get your first sale, visualize several more that same day. So if you can get somebody to come into your lab, just visualize that the next phone call is going to be good. You know, when you think positive, positive things do happen. When you think negative, yep, negative things do happen, which is why we've said all along throughout the life of Telephone Doctor, we are a language of positive statements at the top of the conversation. You will never hear a negative, you should never hear a negative at the top of the conversation from a Telephone Doctor employee. That's just the way we live. We walk the walk, we talk the talk, we practice what we preach. I want you to do the same thing. Humor, energy, and enthusiasm, number 3. And this is the little golden nugget that is listed. It's right in front of me every single morning on my makeup mirror. Just a little square, the little nugget, remember the golden nuggets? It says humor, energy, and enthusiasm. And every time I go to fix my hair and put my makeup on, that's what I'm thinking. Nancy, don't lose your sense of humor. Keep your energy, keep your enthusiasm. It's not always easy, stuff happens. It happens to me too, it happens to my husband, it happens to my kids. But we've just maintained, we can fix this. It can help. Something will work out. So I want you to walk the walk and talk the talk and practice what you preach. You know, there was a famous actor many years ago. I'll use his name. Doesn't make me old. It's just that he happened to have the longest running play on Broadway. And his name was Yul Brynner. Excuse me. Some of you will remember him. Somebody say, who's Yul Brynner? But he was interviewed. I always say before he died, but that's sort of what do they call an oxymoron? Of course he was interviewed before he died. He was interviewed, and the reporter said to him, Mr. Brynner, you do the same play 7 nights a week, sometimes twice a week on Sundays and Wednesdays, so that's nine shows a week. You sing the same song, say the same words to the same actor night after night after night, and you've never lost your enthusiasm. How do you do it? And without missing a beat, he said, it's always a different audience. Now, unless it's the same little old lady calling you over and over and over again, you're getting different calls. So we cannot let our enthusiasm down. We cannot. Every phone call is an opportunity. We know that. We know that. Now, sometimes people say, well, what about when bad things happen, Nancy? What about death? Can you have a enthusiasm and energy and humor in death? Well, you be the judge. My husband and I had a very dear friend. Now, this is very important for me to have you listen to the names, all right? I'm Nancy and Dick Friedman. Well, I'm part of Nancy and Dick Friedman. And our friends were Jim Van Camp, Jim and Pat Van Camp. Obviously Irish Catholic, but that doesn't matter. I just need you to remember that in this particular story. We were very close friends. He had a high-level job. He was not only a client, but he became a good friend, as does happen in the advertising world. And one day we got a call that he passed away, far too young, I will tell you. But we went to the wake. Now, I had never been to a wake. As being Jewish, I just, never had the occasion to go to a wake, so I didn't know what to expect. Well, they had the casket, the person laid out there, Jim laid out there, and maybe 100 or so people, and about 9 o'clock, somebody said, well, they're going to say a prayer now, so let's gather around the casket. So everybody gathered around the casket. Dick and I are standing there, and the priest, the father, who was probably a few years south of 100, he was in his 90s, started to read the prayer, and he was shaking and his voice was quivering, and Dick tapped me on the shoulder and he said, go over and help him and read it. Really, me? And I looked over to the widow and she went like this. Okay, I'm a can-do person. So I looked over to the father and said, may I help you? He said, oh, thank you so much. So I took the pamphlet from him, took a deep breath, and I started to read. Dear Father, God in heaven, please help the N family. The N family needs you now. The N family is a good family. The N family needs your help. Please pray for the N family. And all of a sudden, I start seeing everybody smiling and laughing. And I'm thinking, that's strange. We cry at our funerals, but okay, if that's what they want to do. And I going on with the N family, and finally the young daughter came, pulled it out. She says, we're done. It's over. Well, if you are Catholic, you know that the N family means insert name here. I didn't know that. I thought everybody was the N family. Well, to make it an even better story, about 2 or 3 months later, I was in the grocery shop minding my own business, and I hear somebody say to me, hi, Nancy, how's the N family doing? It was one of the daughters. They have never forgotten the N family at a time that they were crying and sorrow, etc. So yes, there is humor, even in death. Number 4 of the 7 traits of being successful, be a whatever it takes person. Whatever it takes. Yeah, because you can be a whatever it takes person. That means you don't say, I don't know. It means, you use a special word. You double check things. Once you become an avid double checker, life becomes much easier. I cannot tell you how many times we use the word double checker. Everybody needs to be a double checker, even when you know it's not there, you know it's not possible, whatever it is. I mean, I get calls all the time, do you have any more books on such and such, any book? And I say, the last time I checked, I think we were pretty low. I don't know if we've got 200, but let me double check for you. And I either come back with a positive, yes, we got them, or we'll need to order them. But you don't want to tell people, I don't know. You want to double check for people. I went to a hotel a while back. As we travel, we go to many hotels. And I walked in, she says, help you? I said, yes, Nancy Friedman, we have a reservation for tonight. She looks at me, oh, she says, I'm so sorry, we're all full. I said, well, here's a reservation. That's your hotel? She said, uh-huh. Well, that's my name, and it says I have a reservation for double. She says, well, I'm sorry, we're full. Really? I said, can you double check? She said, I just checked. I've sent people to other hotels. We can send them to another hotel. We are full up. So let me ask you a question. If the President of the United States was coming here tonight, would there be a room for him? She said, well, certainly. I said, well, he's not coming. I'll take his. She laughed. Yes, she found a room. I had to double check. We talk about all these techniques and people use them in their business life, but I am telling you, 100% of every technique I'm sharing with you can be done in your personal life, especially double checking. My husband has worn glasses for all of his life. All right, he wore glasses. And since I've been married, he's always taken them off at night, left them on the bathroom counter. And yet, most mornings he wakes up after he gets dressed, hey Nancy, did you see my Glasses. I've lost my glasses. I said, Dick, did you double check the bathroom sink where you've left them for the last 30, 40 years? Oh, thanks. So we laugh at our own techniques when we use them, and we do use them on each other, I promise, even our kids. We use the techniques on each other. So don't be saying, oh, it's just for the phone. It's for every email, voicemail, snail mail, phone, fax, face-to-face, text, or chat. Whatever way you communicate with somebody, you can use all of these techniques. Phew. All right, resist negative tendencies. One of the best traits of being successful is being positive. So resist the negativity. There are words and phrases that people use that are negative. Yesterday, or I guess this morning, we talked about some of the golden nuggets, and we talked about killer words of customer service. You remember, no problem is a huge problem, and calm down. Nobody has ever calmed down because they were told to calm down. Well, we have something called the 5 forbidden phrases. Now, time does not allow me to go into all the phrases with all the stories, but I do want to share a couple that are very important. And the first of the 5 forbidden phrases is a simple 3-word phrase: I don't know. You get your mouth washed out with soap if you use those 3 words. Because the answer to any question asked about you, about Fastest Lab and your business, is a simple, gee, Mr. Smith, that is a very good question. Let me check and find out for you. And then if you want to be really special, like I know you want to be, you add a little caveat. By the way, when did you need that information? Man, that's gold. I've just given you gold. So no more I don't know. You're going to insert gee, and that's just a little handle, gee. That's a very good question. What have you just done? You've complimented a person. You're smart, you asked a good question. Now you're going to take the responsibility. Let me check and find out for you. By the way, while I have you on the phone, or you're sitting here, when did you need that information? Because what we have found out is that we assume people need things right away and hurry up and rush, and that's why we have stress and anxiety and all those other things. And sometimes people say, well, you know, going on vacation, could be out of town for a few days, I'm going to take a few days off, I won't need it till a week from Thursday, that'll be the 23rd or whatever. So ask. By the way, when did you need that information? If they say, well, today, that's what you were doing anyway, so you can do that. No more I don't know. That is the most frustrating phrase when people ask a question from somebody when they call up or walk in. Do you have, yeah, I don't know. There's another one that I wasn't even going to add in here, but here's one that I believe really fits for Fastest Labs. And that's the phrase when somebody asks you a question, oh, I'm sorry, I'm new here. Oh, that's why. Being new is an excuse, and excuses are useless. Here's how you handle when you're new. Ready? You writing it down? All right. Please bear with me. This is my 2nd week, and I'm learning as fast as I can. If you'll bear with me, I'll be able to help you. Is so much better than I'm new, I don't know anything. Because when you walk into someplace, don't you expect people to help you? Well, that's what's happening when they walk into the lab or they call you on the phone. So keep that in your mind. I want to share one other forbidden phrase. Sounds like I'm going to be doing a few more, but the stories and the length, the 5 forbidden phrases, just so you know, is a full hour program. That's how much information I have on each of these nuggets and things that I carry with me. But there's one here that, in honor, not in memory only, but in honor and in memory of my father, that I like to share. When I was a little girl, I was never allowed to say a certain 4-letter word. Wasn't allowed to say that one either. But I was never allowed to say I can't. My daddy would look at me and say, what's the matter, Nancy? I didn't ask you to fly. Tell me you won't. Tell me you don't know how. Tell me you don't want to. But don't you tell me you can't, Nancy, because you haven't tried. And you know what, Daddy? You were right. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't feel him saying, go, baby, go. Because today, when callers ask me the difficult, and they do you think you're the only ones who have difficult customers? Everybody's got them. I give him my daddy's technique, and it's a simple, whew, that's a toughie. Let me see what I can do. It's as simple as that. Instead of, I don't know, we can't do that. We can't do that? No. Which is also a forbidden phrase at the start of the conversation. I could go on and on and on. My husband and I, years ago, decided that we wanted to take the positive road. So our attitudes, which both of us always had, has just been let's stay away from negative words to each other, to our kids, to our coworkers, to our friends. So we have removed as many negativities as we can from our life. We really have. It happens, everyone slips in, I grant you that. But we removed the words, the people, we removed all the negative people in our lives that we could legitimately remove. Now, we don't have a lot of friends. Well, we have them, but we just don't partake to them that much. I don't mind hearing their problems if they have a legitimate one, but you know the people who say it's too hot, it's too cold, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too fat, I'm too thin. We have an awful lot to be thankful for in this world. Start thinking of it that way. Resist negative tendencies. Number 6, accept and expect change. This is a very difficult one. Expect and accept change. You read any book and they tell you there's change every day. I mean, there's roads you go down, what do they call it? Detour. It's a change. Oh, I got to go over here. Detour. We're going to change the hours of the office. We're going to change this. We're going to change that. It's going to happen. I don't know why people are so surprised that there's a change in the weather. That's what happens. That's the way God made it, change in the weather. So I don't know why people are always so surprised. Oh, we made a change in the weather. Bottom line, Dick and I keep using Dick because when we go out to drink, he takes out his little paper napkin and pen and we doodle and we create some of these techniques and ideas, tips and skills right over a drink in a paper napkin. And maybe that's why they're so good. They're simple, everyday techniques. But he said, Nancy, the word change it's not a friendly word and it's not an accepted word. I mean, people accept change, but they don't like the word. Nobody wants to hear the word change. Go change your clothes. They're dirty. So we, or Dick, I should say, we don't use the word change anymore. We're going to improve things around here. We're going to make a road improvement. Wouldn't that be better if the road improvements ahead instead of changing the road, detour, road improvements coming up? We're going to improve the hours. We're going to improve. Hey, good change. Improve your clothes. Just change it. I'm not allowed to change the furniture in the room anymore. I have to say, we're going to improve the way the room looks. But it works for us. We make fun of the way we do it, but those are forbidden phrases. And I'll go over them again because they're so important. Your customers, your family, your friends are not asking you to talk negativity, negative to you. I told you, this is a reality show. We're leaving the mistakes in. All right. And then the last of the 7 traits of being successful. You ready? Be grateful for what you have. There is no room for jealousy in a successful person. And I'd like to leave you with a cute little story. 2 little Jewish people, Mary and Saul. Saul is dying. He's on his deathbed. And he says to Mary, Mary, this is the end, and I'll be passing shortly. I want you to marry Maury. Maury? Yes, promise me. When I pass, when I go, you will marry Maury. Maury? You sure? Yes, I'm sure. Promise me you will marry Maury. All right, I promise you. Why? I thought you hated him. I do. I'm Nancy Friedman, the telephone doctor. It has been my pleasure to work with you. Please be safe, wear the mask, wash your hands, social distance. God bless, and thank you, everybody.